Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of David, and I'm going to say his name completely wrong, Mazzucchelli's. My apologies for that. Daredevil, Born Again, the Artisan Edition. See, it's a softback. See, instead of the massive hardback, I prefer the paperback ones, softback ones, far more than the hardback ones. They're just too heavy, they're just impractical, and they end up just lying on the floor quite often without being read. Whereas these, I love picking up and thoroughly enjoying. They're much lighter and so much easier. So I wish they would bring them out in this sort of size as well at the same time, would be even better. However, we had to wait quite a while because the original came out about 2012. This came out in 2019. 216 pages, obviously from the brilliant IDW. I love IDW. They bring out so many brilliant books. So this one, no exception, just superb. Whenever an Artisan Edition comes out, as far as I'm concerned, instant purchase. Really, I think I've got all of them other than one. There's only one I haven't got of Artisans, and that's the Fantastic Four, because I've got it in the Artist Edition. I'm not going to get both. That's just crazy. Some people I know probably would, but I'm not going to spend vast amounts of money buying both. Now, the Daredevil story, I've never read this. I think I bought a couple of the issues. I think back in I loved Frank Miller, loved that work, but I didn't read the whole lot, so I didn't know what was going to happen at the end or anything particularly. And also similarities, of course, with the Netflix series. So now the Artisan Edition is obviously, it's all black and white or / colour, because it's obviously, but the artwork is black and white, but it's all colour scans. There's some that have been slightly scanned differently, as mentioned in the foreword. So there's a start of the book. So there's a foreword there, a really good foreword as well. I love that. And there's the table of contents, which is really unusual because you've got page numbers there. There are no page numbers in the book. Why do they bother putting page numbers when there's no page numbers in the actual thing? Obviously, the page numbers are on there. You've got all of those, page 9, 2 to 8, because it tells you the thing, but not the top 4 anywhere else. There's also some bonus material at the back that's really, really good. Love the bonus material. Lots of sketches, drawing, those sort of things, pages there. I love pencil. It'd be brilliant if someone brought out an artist edition of it if they had this, all the pencil work. Probably buy that as well. But I think that would be different from obviously buying the artist edition. So, however, the story. Now, there's going to be some spoilers. It's virtually impossible to start any sort of what mentioned in this book without some spoilers. There are spoilers here. So I'm just going to say Kingpin. He's involved, and that's the first page. So that's just a bit of a giveaway. Now, I love this. This is the thing I love about this book. You've got these lovely pages there, the vellum pages. Just glorious. What a touch. Just a beautiful. So you've got the original page there, and then obviously the on top. Slightly unusual, actually, the way I thought, just the way the mouth and everything goes down slightly towards Daredevil, slightly a bit too awkwardly. I thought maybe, anyway, just I suddenly noticed, I was just looking at it thinking, a bit crunched down. I would have thought maybe that was the intention. It's quite possible, of course. I love that first bit. The story starts with Karen Page. She says something that she shouldn't, she's got problems, obviously, clearly, and because her movie career and all that sort of stuff. However, of course, there's great problems for Matt Murdock, because now Kingpin, he's onto him. He's onto Daredevil. He's brutal. He just goes through every single thing, trying to destroy and reduce the man and drive him completely nuts. But the artwork is superb. The artwork truly superb. You've got just beautiful pages there. And all his friendships, everything. And it's relentless all the way through the book. However, of course, you know that it all works out in the end. I mean, that's not much of a spoiler, particularly because, of course, the issues are obviously 226, 227, no, 227, I should say, all the way to 233. Obviously, Daredevil's gone on a lot longer, so that would be terrible to keep that relentless hot problems for poor old. Now, I'm not certain what happens, whether Kingpin suddenly has amnesia or something. He forgets, because, I mean, obviously, I assume the Kingpin must be... But the thing is, someone like the Kingpin, you'd think he would have worked it out anyway. Just You know, most of the time you think, really? Does it take really? There's not. You could actually do a statistical analysis of lots of things, and within about 5 minutes, you probably could work out that Daredevil is Matt Murdock. I know everyone says, well, because he's blind. However, even Daredevil, I think Kingpin doesn't really even believe that. He thinks it's play acting. But at the same time, you think he would have just worked it out. He would have said, well, look, see, where's Daredevil positioned all the time? Which buildings does he seem to go through? He would have people, he's got people everywhere. So you'd spot it. You'd build up a little chart, and you'd sort of, the only bit he would eliminate would be, obviously, you would assume that it's not a woman. He would assume that a certain age, certain what's his name, and so on, so on, so on. He knows the height. You can't hide the height to a degree. So, you know, it's obviously not going to be anyone that's below 5 foot. So you could virtually eliminate the people down to the sort of who it was. I'm spoiling the story now. It's not. That's a comic book, of course. It's like Clark Kent. Everyone knows who Clark Kent, Superman. Of course, that's a big spoiler, isn't it? But you've got a great story and all the way through. But that's always the trouble when you read these. Peter Parker, all these characters would be so easy to pinpoint eventually. You know it's got to be a certain person. And someone with the resources of Kingpin would be able to put a lot of manpower to find this out. And, of course, quite often he probably thinks that Franklin's probably... I don't think so, somehow. But you've got just the artwork is just superb. Absolutely. You've got really poor old Karen Page. I mean, Karen Page is really in a bad state in this. And actually saying that, of course, so is Matt Murdock. But it's just the panel space, the pages. I just love the old artwork. Kingpin is just enormous as well. Kingpin is really, I mean, but what a scumbag. He really is. I mean, he's absolutely not every time. So anyone says slightest thing, I mean, you think, wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't say anything around him. He's so careless. Well, why, like the worst thing some guy turned around and says, you're slightly, you know, that's it, crunch, your neck's broken. How could he keep anyone actually as an employee? I mean, who would want to work for him other than obviously that he's always got something on these people? I mean, it's just beautiful artwork. Anyway, I'm not going to show any more of the artwork and the story is just relentless. This is 216 pages of just amazing. Now, I'm saying that it's probably 216 all of the artwork, of course, because there's some bonus material at back is about 10, 15 pages. You've got Marvel Age 36 cover, Born Again trade paperback cover, trade paper painted colour. You've also got pencil copies. You've got pencil copies probably all the way down, published comics pages as well. So you've got a lot of material. I'd love to see them bring out the pencil version. If they've got all the pencil pages, they definitely should bring this out. I would say the story is one of the all-time classics. Really, unless you're not a Daredevil fan in any way. If you're a Daredevil fan, I think this is obviously must be up in the top 10, top 5 of most Daredevil fans' favourite books. This is just really good. Though I'm certain everyone has their favourites, so maybe some people turn around, oh, I prefer the Gladiator stories or the what's the name story or the, you know, who knows. But I think this is just, however, getting all the way through that, and I'm not going to say how it ends because, of course, but you can guess the ending. However, it's just the final book, final comic, slightly disappointed by. That's the only thing. I thought it was a bit rushed for my taste. I just felt, you know, it was all that sort of build up and also you really would want, I would have thought just you got this build up to the sort of, and then near enough like that instead of sort of like that and maybe like the Kingpin and all that sort of thing, just sort of, and that's the thing I think in the TV series I always felt it was probably better done. The speed and everything, I thought the timing was brilliant. Not so, I think it just, and also the introduction of some other people into the storyline near the end. I felt just like, really? I mean, the villain was pretty good, very extreme, absolutely quite, and some, obviously the other characters as well. I thought, at one point, well, it's going to be, again, on the TVC Netflix, but it was, no. But other than that, I don't think it spoils it. But at the same time, I felt that it wasn't as good as it could have been at the end. It sort of just trailed off for me slightly. I thought, But still, brilliant. An absolute masterpiece. It was just one. And this Artisan Edition is definitely worth getting. If you've got the colour version as well, obviously you've got the colour perfectly. Obviously, you might not want this one. However, I think this one is definitely worth. One, it's because it's much bigger, and you can just see the quality of the artwork. Just everything about it is just masterpiece book. Just absolute pleasure to read. So, and that's it. And like I say, I'm just going to show you not the end, obviously, but I'm showing obviously the last bit. So you can see there's some lovely colour pages there as well. So there is a little bit of colouring, not much. That's it. But the pen sketches, I would love to see those, see more of those. And then you've got biography at the back. And wow, what a superb volume. Totally recommended.